I guess, good morning to our viewers. Owusu Bempah is a big man. He lives by me, not too far from my house. And I do see him. I mean, Owusu Bempah moves with a pickup full of soldiers. And I keep asking myself, how come he's not the president?
Really?
Yes.
Soldiers?
Yes, in a pickup. It goes and they are always behind. You can ask the people who live around me. It's something that we know. I mean, apart from the dispatch rider, which, you know, sends other people, other pastors home. We have made church people to feel so big. I don't know what they contribute, because if they were doing their work even, the corruption and all these other ills in society would have minimized. But instead, we have so many church leaders with so much power, and yet we are not a very safe country. I followed the story, not that it's one of the stories that I really found important, but I just followed it for the fact that Ghanaians were talking about it. And I asked myself what he was doing, he and his gang were doing with guns. You know, this whole idea of church members, people who are supposed to be peace-loving, peaceful people, holding guns, weapons, threatening people, is quite worrying.
Well, they have the guns for protection as well.
Well, you can have the gun. You see, if you read a little about what happened in Rwanda, where even a priest took part in the massacre or aided in the massacring of people, you tend to get worried, and I am worried. This morning, I would wish that the police service would search Owusu Bempah's house and search his church for any cache of weapons. Because you see, the kind of attitude, when you look at the videos that are coming out, and you see the audacity with which his members talk, we don't know what is happening. It's a kind of militant church. That's the way I see it. And we can't allow such churches to exist in this country. That is how come people are calling out that he should be freed, or we should temper mercy and what. He's not above the law. That's the first thing. And I think it's about time we started biting the bullet where these things and such people are concerned. I must say that the IGP is doing well. Like Honorable Suyini said, we have to at least say kudos to them, as the judiciary in this case. But I think it's because some members of the police force were also apparently assaulted by his gang. To the extent that last night before I went to bed, I was hearing that one of them was in critical condition. I don't know how far that is true. But those are the things that would warrant a judge not to give bail to someone like Lantam. We have tended to give the church or church leaders so much power in this country to say what they like, to do what they like. And at the end of the day, when things are not going right, they are the same people again who come back to tell us that things are not going right. I think we must put them in their places, in the right place that they ought to be, in the church, winning souls for Christ, and teaching their church members not about anything else but salvation, being good citizens, being a lover of your neighbor, and all that. But these days, they meddle too much in politics, and it's dangerous for us because they are people who command congregations, large numbers of people, and they can easily indoctrinate them in certain ways that may not be positive. So we have to be careful. So for me, Owusu Bempah, wherever he has found himself, he deserves it. And I think that we should go the full haul and make sure that whatever is due him, he gets it. That's the way I feel this morning.
Very simple. I think that the Ghana Police Service and the judiciary this far deserve some commendation. You know, because as spiritual leader of the president, Owusu Bempah was beginning to feel invincible and above the law. And indeed, there are videos of, you know, him making such claims that for the police to arrest him over the bar and all kinds of things. So perhaps as spiritual leader of the president, he was beginning to feel that he is untouchable. And so I am very
spiritual
happy.
leader of the president.
Come on,
spiritual leader of the president. As the president, said Owusu Bempah is a spiritual leader.
Did you just arrive in this country? He's one of his spiritual leaders.
Really?
Please, it is obvious. Is it?
We know anytime the president meets the clergy, he's one of the people.
Forget it. It's not about the president meeting the clergy. Let's not pretend about these things. We are all in this country. We know who Reverend Owusu Bempah prays for. We know. We know who he prays for. We know the acknowledgements that he also gets from the president. We know. It's not like he prays for him and he doesn't acknowledge it. So let's not pretend. He's one of his spiritual leaders. So, the horn, I don't know where the horn is. So let's not pretend about these things. And he's gone on TV a couple of times to acknowledge the fact that he's one of the spiritual leaders of the president. Made predictions in favor of the president. He celebrated him. So it is not a debate. But he was beginning to feel invincible. And I'm just happy that the police service are not intimidated by those relationships. Especially so when this arrest is coming in the wake of another allegation he made in a video I have seen making the rounds, where he is telling his congregation, especially people who are rich in his congregation, to just make some people happy and satisfied. He says, go to national security. If you are a big man and a rich man in this country, all you need is to go to national security. Let that place be full. Make people in authority happy. Give them money. Let them get money. Go to Flagstaff House. That place to Maame. And that you can do anything you want in this country. Pardon my tree, but that's what he claimed.
If you want the chief of your hometown secretly give you lands, secretly give him money often, give him sheep, or do things secretly for him.
Abamra humpa
now you may transgress a law, or you may be found culpable in a certain area, but because you know how to give, you know how to show kindness, the law may shut its eyes.
Cash sika adia friend oma we are nyansania, but more than say a titru for our more woman who be a connection.
If you are a wise man,
establish
connection with all the great people in your city or your country.
Every month, every month, headquarters, every month, I don't want to go there. National security, my home. We are Nyansania, Opa, South places Yamabubodin. Miniano, Oberquansom, a bedding. They met me a can.
So if you want, satisfy the people in power. And if you are able to satisfy them, you may go to prison for committing an offense, but going to prison may be far from you.